whenever I was 22, me and some friends were out late partying, and I wasn't driving, but we ended up wrecking on our way home, and I ended up in the hospital for 22 months, and my friends died at the scene. And that was a major blow to my ego, my self-esteem, having survivor's guilt from my friends getting killed and me not. And I had the question for a long time, why me? Why was I the one that was allowed to live and they weren't, and everything. And I've wrestled with that for a long time. Whenever something like this happens, you just have to look at the situation and make the best of it. That's the way I see being resilient. I can't really take the credit myself for a lot of that. I mean, my support system with my wife and her putting up with me being depressed and trying to run her off because I didn't want her to have to live with somebody in a wheelchair the rest of her life, and recently in these past 6 months, I've had some major changes. On October 19th, it was my 20-year anniversary of my wreck. And I speak with kids about drinking and driving, and whenever I'm speaking with kids, I tell them that they're valuable and they're important, and that they can accomplish anything if they set goals and work towards their goals and they make good decisions. And but I was speaking with them from a wheelchair, and I wasn't listening to my own advice, So finally I realized that if my situation was going to change at all, it was going to be me that changed it. Before I made the decision to change the way I was doing things, you could call it resiliency, but I don't really feel like I was bouncing back that much. I was more like just holding on, more like a turd that won't flush, kind of, I mean, I was doing good as far as society would look at, but I wasn't reaching my potential because of all the mental and all of the pain and hurt and anguish and everything that was associated with my wreck and the confidence and everything that I lost due to the wreck and everything. And that's what I want y'all to know. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It's how you react to it. It's all about your attitude. And as long as you've got a breath left in you, there's always hope. There's always hope. And that's what being resilient is all about, is being able to see that hope and having faith enough to know that it can get better, that it will get better. Now I'm realizing that was all because of my decision. Everything that's happened to me has been because of decisions that I've made, not anybody else. And I've had to be really truthful with myself, and I've learned through this process of after 20 years, I'm learning to walk again. I've walked for the first time in 20 years, 2 weeks before my 20-year anniversary of my wreck. It's just an amazing experience to see things in one light and think that you're right, and think that you know what you're doing and you have a direction and everything, and then realize that you've been completely wrong. You've been lying to yourself. When I started being truthful to myself, that's when everything started really turning around. That's whenever I started making progress. But then I started realizing, man, I've been holding everybody else to this standard, but not holding myself to the same standard. And I never even saw that before. And so by being honest and truthful with myself, I'm having to make a lot of changes, and it's uncomfortable. I mean, I haven't even been able to go to my friends' graves. It's been 20 years. But by sharing my experience, I'm seeing a lot of these kids, they're opening up, and a lot of them have had experiences with drinking and driving, with family members getting killed, or family members getting hurt, paralyzed, and everything that they haven't dealt with. And by sharing my experience, it's helping them open up and share their experience, and communicating about it, speaking with somebody about it, it helps so much. I was using my emotions to make my decisions until I realized that I was doing that. I couldn't understand why things were happening to me the way that they were. Whenever I think of resiliency, you know, I mean, the first thing I think of is soldiers. Y'all are, of course, y'all are trained to be resilient, but I mean, this is such an honor and a privilege to be able to talk with y'all. I just want to encourage each one of you, if you have things that you're holding on to, share them with somebody. Get it off your chest, and it'll make you feel so much better, and it'll help you deal with stuff so much better. I do believe that there's a time to celebrate and everything, but you have to give yourself something to celebrate. And whatever you do, just make sure that you have a plan before you start celebrating. If you're using alcohol, to be safe, you know, and get home safely after you're done. Don't be too proud if you're in that situation to call somebody to come get you. You know, I don't know how bad of a problem it is. I just know that I've been ignorant in my life, and I've learned very much the hard way, and I don't want any of y'all to have to learn the hard way like I have. It's been an ongoing battle to get up every day and just make the decision, push forward. Whatever comes at you that day, push forward, push through it. And as long as you make that decision, then pray that God gives you the courage, you know, the courage and ability to do it. And if you fail that day, get up and try again the next day. And eventually your hard work will pay off. Does anybody in here have any crazy nickname that y'all are nicknamed or anything? Y'all don't even do nicknames anymore?
Pass that.
Pass nicknames? Man.
You aren't.
That was 30 minutes right there. I was going to talk about that. One thing I do whenever I'm speaking with the kids, I usually have an icebreaker where I'll twist my foot around and stuff. I'll show y'all that. I need somebody to help. Young man, would you like to come help? Everybody, this is my son Gabe. He's 7 years old. He's going to be a big boy. Y'all give him a hand, please.
Yeah.
Look at that grin. So what I'm going to do, Gabe, is, you know the routine. Oh, excuse me. That was my leg. Whenever I tell you to stop, I know you don't normally listen to me, but this time I want you to listen to me. I tell you to stop, I want you to start twisting my foot around. The more I say stop, the more I want you to twist it. Stand over here, what I'd like to say. Great, wait. You're a little too excited, I can tell. All right. Stop it, Gabe. Ah! Stop! Ah! Stop! Stop! Ah! Oh! Woo! Got it a little crooked. Not that way. All right, that's good. Okay. Thank you. Whenever I'm speaking with them, I'm really getting a lot more of a reaction than what I thought I was going to. And a lot of these kids act like this is the first time they've ever heard that they're important or valuable. And it's sad. It's sad, but it gives me a lot of hope that I can put some things in place to try to help some of them to reach their full potential. I tell you, I was in the hospital, like I said, for 2 years, 22 months, nearly 2 years. About a year of that I spent in a nursing home. I saw a lot of old people naked. And that's kind of why I think that I'm kind of thrown off a little bit. In the mornings, you know, I just want y'all to know that the whole time I was in the hospital, it wasn't just, it was a bad experience, yeah, but to be able to see the humor in some of these things is the only way I got by a lot of times. But they had, in the mornings, they would take the people and set them on a rolling potty chair and wrap them in a sheet and bring them to the whirlpool room, and they put them in the whirlpool, take them out, put them back on the potty chair, put them in a sheet, roll them back to their room. Well, I would hang out by the nurses' station, talking with the nurses and stuff. I was the only young people there. And if I wasn't playing dominoes, I learned how to play dominoes pretty good. But really, they brought this one lady back on a potty chair, and the nurse's aide that was wheeling her back stopped at the nurse's station to talk with us or whatever. And that lady, she got her attention, kind of patted her on the leg, got her attention, and she was like, "I need to go." And the nurse's aide was like, "It's okay, baby. You're on the potty. You can go ahead and go." And this lady was sitting right beside me. And it was like on the bottom of this potty chair, I don't know if it was a 5-gallon bucket or what size bucket, but it sounded like she blew the bottom out of that bucket. Sitting right beside me. And it surprised her. And needless to say, it surprised me and everybody else. I tried not to laugh at her. Everybody tried not to laugh at her, but I was crying. I was literally crying. And thank goodness it didn't stink or anything. But that's the type of thing to get through. You have to be able to see things like that and see the humor in them, and because there's stuff like that all around that you can look at and that you can either just throw up or you can laugh. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it was nasty. A lot of resiliency has to do with your attitude and the way you look at the situation at hand. And if you look at it with new eyes every day, look around, there's always somebody worse off than you are. And just be thankful for what you have. Make the best out of what you have. How many of y'all have been in combat? Quite a few, huh? See, man, I don't know how I would deal, with that type of thing. And that's why I look up to y'all so much, because I've lived in countries where people in my situation were crawling around on the street. They had big calluses, built up from pulling themselves along on the street. They didn't have things like prosthetic legs, wheelchairs, and y'all are the reason why we have the freedoms and things that we have in our country, and I thank y'all for that. Thank y'all very much. Give yourselves a hand, please. So just know that there's people that feel that way. There's a lot of people that feel that way about y'all. A lot of times, You know, we always hear the bad things and the negative and everything, but the large majority of people that I know look up to y'all and are so thankful for what y'all do. And so as far as resiliency goes, that should, I mean, having that stature, having that responsibility, y'all taking on that responsibility as, I mean, as a choice. Take pride in that, because there's always somebody watching. Always somebody watching. The good things don't get recognized near as much as the bad things. But y'all are appreciated. And man, I mean, how many times in Bolivia, like in the Central Plaza and stuff, they have people crawling around. I myself walked by them, you know, didn't think anything of it. But being in that situation myself, and it makes me appreciate the freedoms and the luxuries that we have here in the United States so much more. Y'all are the people I have to thank for that. Thank y'all very much. Yes, Gabe, what would you like to ask?
In the hospital, how did you go to the bathroom?
Well,
Got up and went to the bathroom.
at first, I went like, how many days was it? Like 14 days, 15 days without doing number 2, because, I mean, I didn't want to have somebody wipe my butt for me, you know? And, but that's basically, they put me on a bedpan, and I had to poop on it. And then they came and turned me over, and I screamed from them turning me over because I was in so much pain, and they wiped my butt for me. And they rolled me back over. That's basically how I went to the bathroom, son. I'm gonna demonstrate later on, I'll let you know. It's one of your socks. I don't share this with people, but y'all are special. See, there are good points to not having, I mean, I haven't stumped my toe in 20 years. I haven't had an ingrown toenail. Unfortunately, my wife has a foot fetish, but I just have to download pictures off there. So I found some shoes that were fairly, you know, a good deal, but they were a size too small. So I just kind of whittled my toes off. It's true. Smell that? I know that your first sergeant, I know that he cares about y'all a lot. He thinks about y'all's welfare a lot. And probably more than y'all realize. Am I supposed to tell him that? Am I supposed to tell him that? He actually cried a little bit the other night. I was talking to him, and he said he was worried about y'all. He started crying.
I really want to appreciate you, Jen, Gabe, coming out, talking to the company, and I think every soldier here is taking something from you, and is going to be able to apply it. You know, I always talk to them, I always say, look, we can train, but personal experiences trigger that memory, right? It'll make you remember the stuff that you train or the stuff that you talked about when you can relate it to a personal experience, right? And I think what you talked about today, and you know, talk to all of us out here today, can help everybody out here today. So I really appreciate you guys coming out. It's been great. It's awesome seeing you. So, in appreciation, we have this plaque for them, okay? It says, presented to William Bill Baldridge for unmatched dedication, support, and commitment to Bravo Company soldiers. Through your personal experiences and accomplishments in support of the Army's Ready Resilient campaign, you have greatly contributed to the resilience, safety, and readiness of Bravo Company 717 Military Intelligence Battalion soldiers. Your actions are a testament to the soldier's creed. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. They reflect great credit upon you, your supporting family, your continued civil service in the United States of America.
I'm speechless, which is very rare. Seriously, it's really a big honor to be here for me. My dad was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. I have a lot of family members that are in the military. I never even thought about joining the military because I don't know. I don't know why I did. I thought I already knew everything, you know, and as a young person, and really I was probably just scared of doing it. But I have a lot of respect for y'all. You know, there's a lot of people. I mean, in this country, there's so many people that have that much respect for y'all, and so carry that whenever y'all go anywhere, whenever. You know, be proud of what y'all do, and I hope y'all are proud of what y'all do, and let that affect your personal lives too, and hold yourselves to that standard. Because, like I said, there's always somebody watching, you know, somebody their age, and or somebody watching for the bad that y'all may be able to turn around to having a different opinion, you know. So just go out there and do what y'all do, and don't let anything stop you. Another thing that has helped me along the way is knowing that this is my purpose. It's my purpose to share my story, and I want to encourage y'all to find what your purposes are. That's what life's all about. Find your purpose, pursue it, and pursue it with vigor, and don't let other people discourage you. Because if you do, then you end up regretting. I have a lot of regrets. I don't want to have any more regrets. I want y'all to have regrets. So, thank y'all very much.